Hi and welcome back on SportsKhabri, Curious Harry, Arun Foot, and Indian Food and Football. Cheyenne is not here right now. He'll be joining us in another 5 to 10 minutes. Thank you, Irene and Arunwa, for joining us. Three very important games in Indian football today, two in the AFC Cup and one, of course, in the ISL. We'll discuss the AFC Cup matches first. Hiren, your view.
Definitely both the matches मतलब ओडिशा एफसी वाला डिसअपॉइंटिंग मैच टू बी ऑनेस्ट डिसअपॉइंटिंग विथ ओडिशा टू बी ऑनेस्ट जिस तरह से उन्होंने खेला मतलब दिखा नहीं उनकी ओर से डिटर्मिनेशन हंगरनेस वो कुछ भी कि वो मतलब एफसी कप का मैच खेल रहे हैं जिस पेस पे वो खेल रहे थे अगर थोड़ी सी भी उन्होंने इंटेंसिटी या फिर मैच का टेम्पो हाई रखा होता आई थिंक दे विल एबल टू बीट वसुंधरा किंग्स क्योंकि आप देखिए बैकलाइन जैसे ओडिशा की भी आज आज उतनी ज्यादा अच्छी नहीं थी काफी मिस्टेक की उन्होंने एंड जिसका भरपूर फायदा वसुंधरा किंग्स की जो फ्रंट लाइन थी जो कि ब्राजीलियन से भरी पड़ी थी और मतलब एक एक पास पे वो खोल रहे थे ओडिशा एफसी की फ्रंट लाइन को और डिफेंसिव लाइन को तो सेम चीज यहाँ पे ओडिशा एफसी भी कर सकती थी यहाँ पे आप देखिए मोहन सॉरी वसुंधरा किंग्स का भी जो बैक लाइन था उतना कोई ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं दिख रहा था वहां पे भी बांग्लादेश के सेंटर बैक और वो सारी चीज थी तो वहां पे आप बीट कर सकते थे लेकिन आपने पूरे मैच में वो इंटेंसिटी ही नहीं दिखाई थ्रू आउट दी स्टार्टिंग मिनट से एंड थोड़ी सी स्टार्टिंग 11 भी मेरे को क्वेश्चनेबल लगी आई थिंक रोटेशन करने के लिए गए एंड आई थिंक जो मेरे को भी इंडिकेशन लग रहा है कि जो फोकस ऑफ ओडिशा एफसी इज दिस सीजन इज आईएसएल आई थिंक एफसी कप में उस उतना ज्यादा वो आप अपने बोलेंगे कि चलो मुर्तजा फॉल नहीं खेल रहे थे लेकिन उसकी जगह पे थोइबा सिंह खेल रहे थे साहिल पनवर का मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया जेरी को स्टार्ट कराना चाहिए था आते ही देखे उसने गोल मारा था एंड थोड़ी सी स्टार्टिंग 11 भी मेरे को क्वेश्चनेबल लगी लेकिन सबसे ज्यादा मैं डिसअपॉइंट हुआ ओडिशा एफसी की जो इंटेंट थी वो आई थिंक बिल्कुल नहीं देखा उनकी ओर से एंड दैट्स वाई वसुंधरा किंग्स यहाँ पे क्या बोलते हैं उनके ऊपर हावी हो गई और 3-0 की जो कि डिजर्विंग विक्ट्री है मेरे हिसाब से एंड दूसरा मैच मोहन बगान वर्सेस सुपर जायंट वर्सेस माजिया दैट वाज अ ग्रेट मैच आई थिंक ब्रिलियंट सेकंड हाफ नो डाउट मोहन बगान वर मच मोर डोमिनेटेड ज्यादा चांसेस भी बनाए एंड फर्स्ट हाफ के एंड में जो फर्स्ट हाफ में जो पेनल्टी का उन्होंने जो क्या बोलते कि एक डेढ़ शानपति की आई थिंक वो अगर 1-1 होता तो ज्यादा उसकी बात होती और ज्यादा क्रिटिसाइज भी होते जैसन क्यूमिंग्स एंड पेट्राटोस आई थिंक दोनों एंड आई थिंक जॉन फेर्नांडो ने भी हाफ टाइम पे बोला होगा कि क्या था मतलब देखिए वो सारी चीजें ट्रिकरी आपको करनी है कर सकते हो लेकिन आपको मैच का टाइमिंग देखना चाहिए ना आप 1-0 से आगे हो तो वहां पे उतना रिस्क लेना आई थिंक मेरे हिसाब से वर्थ इट नहीं था अगर आप सेकंड हाफ में वो 2-3 2-0 3-0 से आगे हो फिर वो करते हो तो समझ में आता है क्योंकि अगर फिर आप फेल भी होते हो तो उतनी ज्यादा बात नहीं होगी अगर आप मैच सिक्योर कर लोगे क्योंकि यहाँ पे आपने देखिए जैसे ही वो हुआ उसके तुरंत बाद अब देखिए यहाँ पे इक्वलाइजर आया माजिया की ओर से जो कि बेहतरीन गोल था एंड कहीं ना कहीं उसका इफेक्ट दिखा टीम के ऊपर वो एक मोरल वो पड़ता है कि आप 1-0 आगे थे तो 2-0 इजीली हो सकते थे तो वो वाली चीज थी अदरवाइज आई थिंक ओवरऑल जैसन क्यूमिक्स का बेहतरीन गेम आई थिंक जबरदस्त फिनिश दोनों क्वालिटी फिनिश जो उससे एक्सपेक्ट किया जाता है अभी तक वो जैसन क्यूमिक्स हमें नहीं दिख रहे थे सारे गोल्स उसके मोस्ट ऑफ दी टेप इन गोल या फिर पेनल्टी वाले गोल आ रहे थे लेकिन इस मैच में प्रॉपर जो है आप नंबर 9 से एक्सपेक्ट करते हो दोनों क्वालिटी गोल उसने फिनिश किए थे दैट्स अ ब्रिलियंट परफॉर्मेंस लिस्टन कोलासो आई थिंक थ्रू आउट द मैच मेरे को बढ़िया दिखे दैट्स द ग्रेट साइन फॉर मोहन बगान क्योंकि आसिफ कुरुनियान की जगह पे आपको चाहिए एज डिफेंसिवली भी लिस्टन कोलासो मेरे को अच्छा दिखा सो दैट्स अ ग्रेट थिंग सहल अब्दुल समद एंड अनिरुद्ध थापा का जो इम्पैक्ट है वो सेकंड हाफ में हमें देखने को मिल गया जैसे ही वो आए आई थिंक गेम को थोड़ा सा उन्हें और ज्यादा पेशी बना दिया मनवीर सिंह ऑल्सो ग्रेट सो ओवरऑल मोहन बगान के लिए मतलब आई थिंक ड्रॉ होता तो डेफिनेटली वो डिसअपॉइंट जरूर होते क्योंकि ये उनके लिए 3 पॉइंट लेने वाला मैच था एंड दे आर करंटली इन द ग्रुप टॉप इन दिस साउथ एशियन जोन सो दैट्स अ ग्रेट टू सी आई थिंक ओवरऑल अ वेरी गुड मैच सो बोथ द मैचेस ऑफ एफसी कप आई थिंक मजा आया वसुंधरा वाला भी अब जो ब्राजीलियन का जो वसुंधरा किंग के फ्रंट लाइन में थे उनका परफॉर्मेंस देख के मेरे को मजा आया बट ओडिशा ने डिसअपॉइंट किया मोहन बगान गेट्स अ good victory.
Mohun Bagan are having a great season, of course, how things ended last year and they're carrying forward with the momentum. Arnav, how far do you think they'll go in the AFC Cup? And how will the performance, the two back to back wins, now change their strategy in the ISL this season?
See, I think for them, a lot of focus has and is and will be on the AFC Cup, while Hiren has correctly said, and welcome, Shine. Good evening.
Welcome.
And while Odisha seems to be more focused on the ISL, but again, I think the dangerous part is that you see the friction within the squad. You know, I said that pre-season that could be a problem with all these high-profile players up front, and if that shows even more, That would be very interesting to see. So therefore, yeah, and I think, as Abhishek says, yeah, I think it's a question regarding Sadiko and especially the Australians. I think the Australians are hanging in together, and Bomo does his own thing anyway. So let's see what happens. And Basundhara, Odisha, that was an open game. I mean, if that had finished, I don't know, 5-5, 6-6, 7-7, I think nobody could have said anything against it. It was really open play, and they had a go at each other. I mean, and it's but it's going to be tough now. 0 points after 2 games. Again, theoretically, anything is possible, but they will now have to win all their remaining matches to top the group, and hope that Mohun Bagan drop points, and that would be interesting to see. I think Mazia, again, a lot of people have underestimated. I think a lot of people said, yeah, they're from the Maldives and they're not going to be good, but this also proves a point. We've been seeing that in international football with our Indian national teams, that everybody around us is developing and evolving, right? So, and even if you see that stadium that Basundhara plays in, very few in India will have such a stadium, and that's the thing. I think that we should be looking out to. Therefore, Mohun Bagan were the favorites, are the favorites, will be the favorites to top this group, but it is not a done deal yet. I think all the other teams still have a chance.
Shayan, your views on both the AFC Cup matches today?
So I was expecting Mohun Bagan to win, but I must admit that Mohun Bagan really had us scared today. Means, I didn't expect Mohun Bagan to win in such a pain. Which I thought that Mohun Bagan should have won this game easily, but I'll not disrespect anybody. Actually, a few players had an off day today, but then also Mohun Bagan won the game, and 3 points. They have took the very important 3 points against Mazia, and Mohun Bagan currently has having 6 points in the group. And I agree that the other game, Odisha, I think one thing what I noticed, Odisha playing in the AFC Cup and Odisha playing in the AFC Cup, and in ISL is a bit different. Odisha's approach, what I find, is very different in playing both the tournaments. I think they have taken into account more seriously the ISL, and that is their plan. I'm again saying, don't judge Odisha how they play on AFC Cup. I think what I can see of them, how they're playing in ISL, that is the way they would play. I don't think they have much. Unauda, I must say that they are not taking this AFC Cup seriously. Wrong, good, bad, that is something. There's a different discussion, but I don't think they're taking it seriously, and they have accepted that they will not go far from this group. And I think Mohun Bagan and Basundhara, one of them will have a Mohun Bagan being the favorites, and Basundhara maybe the second team who can give a fight to Mohun Bagan. But I think this is more or less settled.
But why is it that they're not taking the AFC Cup seriously?
आई थिंक नया कोच आया है, सारी मतलब एक नया क्या बोलते हैं कि स्पोर्टिंग प्रोजेक्ट लेके चल रहे हैं. सो आई थिंक दे वांट टू फोकस ऑन वन कंपटीशन. ऐसा ना हो कि दोनों कंपटीशन में करने में रहे, तब तक आईएसएल में भी इतने पीछे रह जाओ कि आपको मतलब कि फिर वहां पे कमबैक का चांस ना मिले. एंड क्योंकि आपको स्पोर्ट रोटेशन भी उस हिसाब से करना पड़ेगा, सारी चीजें होगी. तो आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाई दे गो फॉर दिस इज एन आईएसएल. दैट वन ऑफ द रीजन. Sahal I think has been absolutely brilliant form with Mohun Bagan. I think आज भी उन्होंने दिखाया, and that's a good for the Indian national team also, because सहल से हमेशा ये कंप्लेंट रहती थी कि वो मतलब इजीली बॉल लूज करता है, लेकिन जो उसकी डिसीजन मेकिंग है वो हमें इंप्रूव होती हुई दिखी है. And I think that's a good fight for national team. So I think brilliant game आज as a off the bench आके I think उसने impact डाला है मैच में. So glad to see.
Shine Hiren, how far do you think Mohun Bagan will reach in the AFC Cup?
Semi-final is, I think, is the minimum benchmark. I think they should aim for the semi-final. Interzonal semi-final is the minimum thing. After that, you never know. It's a game after that. So
interzonal semi-final or semi-final overall?
Interzonal semi-final. It's a minimum.
Okay. Because you said semi-final first and then you added interzonal. That's why I wanted to cross check.
नहीं, interzonal तो मतलब ये ग्रुप टॉप करेगा तो सीधा इंटरजोनल सेमीफाइनल में जाएगा वो.
उसके बाद इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट भाई. उसके बाद this time the league is got very strengthened and if you see जो हम लोग already इस साउथ एशियन ग्रुप में जो देख रहे हैं उसका अगर एक मीडियम में पकड़ूं very tough days ahead, very tough days ahead, इतना मैं बोल सकता हूँ. Not, it will be not so easy this time.
नहीं
और
इजी तो
आपको
बिल्कुल
याद
नहीं
भी
होगा.
होगा लास्ट ईयर भी
इजी तो
वी
नहीं होगा.
लॉस्ट टू अ मलेशियन क्लब उसका बजट
हाँ.
वाज half of मोहन बगान. So that is again, let's see, but I'm
लेकिन
hopeful that
that's why
मोहन बगान will go
that's
good.
why they build this super team ना, to beat to be in the, you can say, perform in the knockout stages of AFC Cup. नहीं तो लास्ट सीजन भी उन्होंने ग्रुप टॉप करके वो खेले ही थे इंटरजोनल. तो वहां से आगे बढ़ना है ना, इंटरजोनल सेमीफाइनल जीतना पड़ेगा, इंटरजोनल फाइनल जाना पड़ेगा, तो तभी बात बनेगी. फाइनल में देखिए, फाइनल में अगर आप हारते हो तो उसमें आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि भाई आपने ये कर दिया, क्योंकि फाइनल में आपको पता ही होता है कि वो कुछ भी हो सकता है, मतलब समझ में आता है. लेकिन आई थिंक इस टीम के साथ एटलीस्ट आप फाइनल तो हमें हमें एक्सपेक्ट करना ही चाहिए.
Let's see. It's too early to comment.
Hiren, can you also tell us about the upcoming matches of both the teams, Odisha FC and Mohun Bagan in the FC Cup?
एफसी कप में आई थिंक मोहन बगान का है विथ वसुंधरा किंग्स आई थिंक, एंड ओडिशा एफसी इज टेकिंग ऑन माजिया, सो दैट विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग गेम. आई थिंक अवे मैच है मोहन बगान का नाउ, दैट्स द इंटरेस्टिंग टू सी नाउ कि किस तरह से वो मतलब टेक ऑन करते हैं. एंड वसुंधरा वर्सेस मोहन बगान भी एक इंटरेस्टिंग फिक्सर रहेगा. लास्ट सीजन वैसे हराया हुआ है, लेकिन आई थिंक जो ब्राजीलियन अटैक है ना वसुंधरा किंग्स का, अरुणा सर आपको क्या लगा? मेरे को तो मतलब आई एम रियली इम्प्रेस्ड. आई थिंक दोज टू आर ब्रिलियंट प्लेयर. मतलब आई थिंक रोबिन्यो एंड डोरलियंटन एंड मिगुएल फगेरा तीनों, और राकी बसन जो बांग्लादेश का विंगर था, इन चारों ने मतलब ओडिशा एफसी को नचाया है सच में.
See, this is a team, this is a club, which has spent a lot of money. You can compare them to the Tatas in India. Oscar Bruzon has been now there for quite a while. They are not that old a club in the sense of comparing it to other teams. They're also only 10 years old. They're as old as Bangalore FC. So they were a corporate entry into Bangladesh football. And, if the ISL ever thinks of going the major league soccer way of expanding outside of your territory, Basundhara Kings surely would be a great addition to the ISL. So they're that good a side, I think. That what Shushmin is saying. They've got a very good coach. Their infrastructure is better. And I remember I spoke last year around the AFC Cup with Oscar Bruzon. I remember the day I left, the day they arrived, so we had a short interaction, and he clearly said he's been impressed over there. And this is someone who's worked at Sporting Club de Goa for a very, very long time. He's worked in an academy called SPT in Bangalore when he initially came to India. Was assistant coach of Nicholas Anelka at Mumbai City, worked at Mumbai FC, so he knows Indian football quite well. So therefore, that's a challenge, and their owners are ambitious as well. Very ambitious as well. They want to progress this season in the AFC Cup. So let's see. At the moment, advantage Mohun Bagan because Mazia shocked them. I think that's a big one, which I think they didn't expect. I thought they would have gone to Maldives and thought, okay, somehow they will be able to win. But I think Mazia has been a thorn to clubs in that AFC Cup South Asian zone a number of times over the last few years.
इसका ये लॉर्ड बेके का कमेंट इंटरेस्टिंग है कि ओडिशा एफसी मतलब भले ही फोकस उसके ऊपर हो, लेकिन उसको माजिया एंड वसुंधरा को तो हराना चाहिए था, क्योंकि हमारी जो एएफसी की रैंकिंग पॉइंट्स है उसमें हमें काफी मतलब उन्होंने हार के पॉइंट गवाया है हमने. नहीं तो आज वो अगर जीतते मैच तो डेफिनेटली फायदा होता.
See, every match you don't win is a loss, and especially for India because it's a loss, right? And then the coefficient comes in as well, and all of these. Let's see. So therefore, it's an interesting scenario at the moment. So let's wait and see. I think this as I said, it's an advantage Mohun Bagan super giant, but again they are they're far from over than playing other things.
A lot of questions on the ISL matches. We will be coming to them in the next 3-4 minutes. Before we head to ISL, anything that you guys want to add on to the two matches of the SC Cup?
आपको
Uh,
आप दोनों को क्या लगता है कि क्यूमिंग्स का जो आज का परफॉर्मेंस था वो मतलब अभी तक का उसका आप दोनों को लगा बेस्ट इन मोहन बगान शर्ट्स?
See,
सैन भाई
Cummins
आपका
is
क्या होता
someone. Cummins मैं लास्ट दिन भी बताया था आपको हैरी भाई दैट Cummins को थोड़ा टाइम दीजिए. आई थिंक ही विल कम इन दैट शेप एंड आस्ते आस्ते ही विल शो हिज कलर. ही इज अ क्लास प्लेयर नो डाउट एंड आई थिंक given more time Cummins will only get it better from here. Only get better from here and I admit I agree to you that this was his best performance. ये उनका सबसे बेहतरीन परफॉर्मेंस रहा है मोहन बगान जर्सी में. आज का जो गेम उन्होंने खेला got the very crucial 3 points for Mohun Bagan, and that's the way a good player will do. He'll get you a 3 points on a day where nobody else will play. So that's a
लेकिन
sign of a very good player.
लेकिन सैन भाई आज हैट्रिक भी हो सकता था अगर वो पेनल्टी में उसने वो क्या बोलती कि वो नहीं किया होता तो
हाँ
एफसी
ठीक
का
है बट
हैट्रिक हो जाता
हो सकता हाँ होता अच्छा होता but it would have been a good start. But let's hope I'm optimistic of Cummins. So yeah, ISL will be also in coming days will do good. I'm very much sure that he'll do good.
उसके अलावा अरुणा सर आपको सबसे इंप्रेसिव प्लेयर कौन सा लगा मोहन बगान आज के मैच में?
Sahal, and
सहल लेकिन
holding himself at international level. I also felt that these guys were more comfortable today. I mean, than they have been in recent match days. And it is an advantage when you're playing with more foreigners. Quality ज़्यादा होता है ना. That's 100% thing. That for Indian football is good to restrict it to 4 foreigners, but when you play with 6, when you play with potentially 7, as we've had at the start of the ISL, it increases the standard.
ये काफी सारे लोग बोल रहे थे कि सादिकू के अगेंस्ट गैंग बन चुका है और वो आपने जैसे स्टार्ट में बोला वो एक आई थिंक इशू मतलब दिख रहा है अगर साथ में जब जैसन क्यूमिंग्स एंड सादिकू खेलते हैं तो कि सादिकू को उतनी ज्यादा बॉल डिलीवरी नहीं मिलती है फिर जो भी.
I am interested. I would love to be in the dressing room tonight of Mohun Bagan Super Giant, because as I said this before the season, these are all characters. These guys are all characters. They have all got a certain amount of history, and this I don't know, it could blow up, and I feel, and I've had this feeling also in Indian football, that most clubs don't do actually a check on what kind of characters these guys are. A lot of clubs don't seem to do that. They just
साइनिंग से पहले नहीं करते.
buy CVs, or what is positive on it. Because even in world football, there it's you don't care, if Bayern Munich is considering of bringing back Jerome Boateng with all that thing that is in the background. Man United, Mason Greenwood or Anthony, whatever. You don't check whatever. There's racism charges against certain players, but they still get signed. You don't do that. You look at the quality of a player. But the question is also what character do you add to the dressing room? And this is something which I feel Mohun Bagan Super Giant didn't do. They just brought in the names and the quality of the players that they are, but they didn't check that would they gel together. And again, that'll be the test. And again, Petratos was and is the guy who was there. He was already there. Hugo Bumus was already there. Brandon Hamill was already there, and the other 3 just came.
ऑलरेडी ह्यूगो बुमो के साथ लास्ट सीजन भी आप देखिए कि जॉन फर्नांडो के साथ वो थोड़ा सा रिफ्ट का खबर आया था कि ही इज नॉट हैप्पी.
Hugo Bumus is his own mind. He's a brilliant footballer, but I don't, from what I know from also from other teams, he's not someone who's easy to handle. But again, you have to give him that creative freedom. And that's the quality of the coach and the management. That how do you manage these kind of players? Out of own experience, when we had Mumbai City, you have to give a Nicholas Anelka his freedom and the way he used to want to do things and all, which no other player would do. But you allow him to do that. You give him his freedom. You leave him alone. It works. So therefore, yeah.
ये सर ये जो परसेप्शन है जोआन सॉफ्ट है, मेरे को तो नहीं लगता है सॉफ्ट, मतलब बाहर आपको लगता है, लेकिन आई थिंक इन ड्रेसिंग रूम आई थिंक ही इज द मतलब who is calling the shots मेरे हिसाब
See,
से.
the point is what you think outside and what happens internally
It's
very
a
often is not the same thing. So
same
you
thing.
again, as fans, don't have a clue, I think, of what happens in a dressing room. You perceive to know everything. You know whatever's happening. Um, a dressing room and the dynamics in a dressing room are very, very different. And again, there are dynamics in dressing rooms. If I would tell you that the things are the way they are, most of you would not believe. But again, and that's what I'm saying, most of you don't know how dressing rooms, what kind of stuff go on, politics and all that kind of stuff in regard to who plays, who's playing, who's my friend, who's not my friend. um yeah,
मतलब
it will be
बेसिकली
very interesting.
एंड ऑफ द डे वो भी ह्यूमन बीइंग्स ही हैं, तो उनका भी मतलब वो तो है ही पार्ट. हाँ डेफिनेटली.
But again, I think we're drifting away too much from that topic. But I would come back and say, it's a team with a lot of uh, uh, a lot of potential, and therefore, again, even if you've had a problem, again, and it's often also good if you've had problems, let's say on the field or in the dressing room, but you sort it out amongst
हाँ.
yourselves. That's the best. That speaks about character. So therefore, let's see what they do. They have a lot of potential. So far, so good. 2 wins in the AFC Cup group stage, 2 wins in the ISL.
आई थिंक
Yeah.
9 मैच अनबीटन जा रहे हैं वो. 9 मैच.
Again, 9 match. You're adding Duran Cup to it. Some will not add Duran Cup. Again, that's again one of those questions. They're doing fine. They're doing good. But if these things come to the fore on the field, and this is not the first time, we saw it the other day as well against BFC. Let's see how it gets handled.
We will be coming on the age fraud topic towards the end of the podcast today. Perhaps time for us to move to the ISL match between FC Goa and Punjab FC. Interesting match.
I'm wearing orange today, so that's the color of both teams. But actually, my orange is Punjab. Yeah, so just to make it clear.
So what's your thought about the Sainda से पूछेंगे, what's your thought about that controversial offside goal?
If you ask me, that was a goal, bhai. That was
हाँ.
the Punjab FC was robbed of, bhai. This is my personal opinion. I think others may disagree, but Punjab was robbed. I think Sumit also says this. I also agree with it. They were robbed of this, and this is something which is very demoralizing for a team. Last year, if you remember, the first game in ISL, Northeast were done the same thing, and that impact they had whole throughout the season. And Marcus Bulwell said that one goal impacted the team on a long way. So this is very important. If they would have got a point in this match, that would have helped in their confidence also. So what can be done against Goa? Pretty strong team. Goa is a pretty strong team this time in ISL. So क्या कर सकते
I
हैं
want to
referees?
नहीं
I would
I want
please
to know from
I want to ask Onam about the refereing because
नहीं
he
नहीं
seems to be very happy.
उससे पहले मैं अक्षता से जानना चाहूंगा कि क्या फीलिंग होती है, क्योंकि वो भी अभी इससे निकल चुके हैं एंड पंजाब एफसी की कोई बात नहीं करेगा. वो सही बात है, क्योंकि ट्विटर पे आई थिंक होलला नहीं होगा. अगर एफसी गोवा को नहीं दिया होता तो ज्यादा बात होती. सोशल मीडिया की भी यहाँ पे हो गया. पंजाब एफसी अभी नया क्लब है, उतना फैन बेस नहीं है, उतनी ज्यादा बात भी नहीं होगी. सो हाउ डज इट फील टू मतलब robbed us? फीलिंग क्या होती है एज अ फैन?
I mean, of course, it's unfair. And as you said, Punjab FC, even on social media, they are still very much trying to build themselves. They do not have that kind of fan following. Abhi bhi starting stage pe, Delhi में उनका stadium है, काफी चीजें they're still figuring out. So in that stage, you're very right that people are not really talking about it. I just saw a couple of tweets where people mentioned about the refereeing error. Happy to see that at least people here are, talking about that unfair decision on them. Plus, as it's their first season in the ISL. Coming from that mindset and losing a match because of this, of course, affects the momentum. आप कहाँ जा रहे हैं आगे, and every point is crucial. So yeah, it is very disappointing. I don't think of course it's a comparable situation, but I do not want to compare it because there are different situations altogether. But yeah, they deserved better for sure. I know.
Yeah, I think the biggest positive is that Punjab FC were able to play along and challenge FC Goa, and played their football. I was surprised towards the end when they were showing the stats. Were showing 442 passes to 426, uh, 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 which is quite credible because normally Goa has 400, 500 passes. The opponent has about 200. You saw with an all Indian backline at the start that these guys are actually trying to combine from the back, play football. It's just that they're not getting the goals. I think Luka Machin needs a goal, needs an easy goal. Again, he got an easy goal against Mohun Bagan, but he just needs that confidence boosting goal, I think. And Talal looks a good, solid guy in the midfield. Juan Mera is Juan Mera. I'm the only problem that Punjab has, everyone is saying, you're playing good football, but they're not getting the points. And this has been, I've said this again and again since the Super Cup, that Punjab FC is playing well against ISL teams, but they're not getting the results. And it was the same thing in the Durand Cup. They could have beaten Mohun Bagan. They could have beaten East Bengal in Durand Cup, if you like it or not. And that is what is sort of missing, that X factor, that, and the question that I have to myself is it good to play a foreign goalkeeper? Are you wasting
exactly.
that one position? And again, of course, there's someone who's won the I-League multiple times with you. You have decent goalkeepers in Shibin Lal and others on the bench potentially. It would be very interesting. To see. Yeah.
बट गेम प्ले सर, गेम प्ले आई थिंक इम्प्रेसिव, जब से मतलब हीरो सुपर कप से वो मतलब हम देख रहे हैं उनको, आई थिंक मतलब गेम स्टाइल उनका इम्प्रेसिव है. एंड आई थिंक
but this has been always the case. Again, this is something that Sunny Singh as an owner, I know due to my own association when at the founding stage, and later on also, that Punjab FC's aim was always to try and play football. Is not work football, but play football. And this is something which they have continued. It doesn't matter at what level this club has played, they have tried to play football. And that is something which is very, very good to see. The only problem is that they're not getting the results. That's the only thing. The football is good. They're looking good. I mean, even towards the end, they had their chances. And Wilmer Jordan, most probably last season,
वो करना चाहिए था. वो क्या मेहंदी तला ने क्या मस्त यार, क्या बिल्डअप, वो प्रॉपर एक मतलब आई थिंक जबरदस्त बिल्डअप वाला वो गोल बन जाता. That was a brilliant.
But again, it's not happening for them yet. But again, give them a little time. And this is an interesting part, that some of the teams have been lucky, some of the teams have been unlucky in the things. Look at last night, Kerala Blasters against Jamshedpur. I think Jamshedpur didn't deserve to lose. The East Bengal fans might not like it, but also East Bengal, I don't think, deserved a win against Hyderabad the other night. So there's a lot of these things. Even Mohun Bagan against BFC. A lot of these games are 50-50 games where one goal here or there is deciding the result at the moment.
This has always been there. One or that moment will only differentiate the game. No,
नहीं सहन भाई, हम सिर्फ बताने के लिए बोल रहे हैं. वो तो
at the moment it's close. Again, Goa has played against teams where they win 2, 3, 4, 5-0, and it's a one-sided game. Today, Goa, it was not. I've not seen too many one-sided games. Most of the games ended in draws. This is the standard of the ISL is very, very good at the moment. And
आई थिंक जो हमने तीन क्लब हैदराबाद, जमशेदपुर और पंजाब को, तीनों जब आईएसएल स्टार्ट होने से पहले, आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ दी पीपल ने उनको मतलब उतना ज्यादा वो नहीं दिया होगा कि यहाँ पे ये उतना ज्यादा टक्कर दे पाएंगे. लेकिन जिस तरह से तीनों ने शुरुआत की है, भले ही यहाँ पे जैसे पंजाब एफसी ने दोनों मैच हारे हैं, लेकिन वो मजा आया है गेम में. एंड आई थिंक मैं अभी पहले भी वही बात कर रहा था मेरे लाइव में भी कि एक से दो मैच छोड़ के आई थिंक एक भी मैच बोरिंग नहीं हुआ है आईएसएल का, जो जनरली होता है मतलब एकदम से स्लो प्लेस पे, जैसे आज मतलब चल रहा था, तो वो ऐसा आपको जनरली देखने को नहीं मिलता। आई थिंक आज का मैच भी आप देखिए, गोवा वर्सेस पंजाब का, आई थिंक काफी इंटरेस्टिंग मैच था। हैदराबाद वर्सेस आपका ईस्ट बंगाल का मैच, दैट वाज अ ब्रिलियंट मैच, मजा आ गया देख के। मतलब नहीं तो जनरली हमने लास्ट सीजन क्या देखा था कि कुछ कुछ मैचेस तो इतने बोरिंग हो जाते हैं कि मतलब आपको लगता है कि चलो भाई ये चल ही रहा है, मतलब उसमें कुछ है नहीं। लेकिन इस आईएसएल में आई थिंक पूरा बोरिंग वाला मैच तो एक भी नहीं चला है। सो दैट्स गुड फॉर आईएसएल एंड इंडियन फुटबॉल कि चलो भाई एक इवनली बैटल हमें देखने को मिल रही है।
It's
Kumar
good
and
for the
Utkarsh, we've already discussed the AFC Cup matches, and now we are moved on to ISL. So maybe you can, once the stream is over, you can maybe revisit the video. Hopefully, we've answered the questions you've asked. Two back-to-back losses for Punjab. How can they recover from this? Of course, just two matches in the ISL. Long road ahead of all the teams, for that matter. But what are some of the changes they should be implementing in the upcoming matches?
I think they
one change. They need to do one change. Score goals. One change. It's very football.
Simple
Sometimes
change.
it's very simple. Very simple. It's again, we could discuss it for 2 hours. There's one thing they need. They need the goals, and they need a little bit of luck with the referees as well. They've been unlucky with the referees also in a lot of matches where the 50-50 chances have not gone their way. So that is something which you also see, that teams which don't have a standing, for them it's difficult to get these decisions their way. So therefore, it's there, and I would not change anything in the style. I would just look at how do I strengthen my setup in a way, and that's the we go back to the
लेकिन
question.
लेकिन सर
Chemchong,
उसको एक
हाँ बताओ।
एक बड़ा बूस्ट आई थिंक उनको मिलेगा कि दो प्लेयर जो उनके हैं, अमरजीत सिंह कियांग एंड सैमुअल जेम्स किंसी, आई थिंक वो भी नेक्स्ट मैच से अवेलेबल हो जाएंगे। आई थिंक मिडफील्ड में और ज्यादा आपके पास ऑप्शन बन जाएंगे।
The potential is there. Again, I think the coach has some tough questions, tough decisions to make. Do you start with Wilmer, or do you start with Luka Machin? Do you keep Chemjong in goal, or do you put an Indian goalkeeper in and put the Greek centre back in? Again, he has to try and do something differently. But again, whatever they've done, I felt Roundglass Punjab as an ISL newcomer have done well for themselves, and that's I think the most important thing. I think they might have been worried themselves, is like, you're coming into this, and they've got now finally a home game on Friday against Northeast United, and that could be a very exciting encounter if with Northeast, the way they've played at home. Now they have to go away from home. Can they replicate that? How do Punjab play in Delhi? That's also a
But
question. They're not playing at home.
Unavada, I think I want to add this, that I think Northeast, it will be a home game for Northeast United there. Because the fans
I
are
want to
ready.
say the same thing. less of a home game for Punjab.
See,
Plus, the stadium also is. Sorry, Anu. Sorry, Shan. Anu, what are you saying?
No, you.
I mean, the
Akshata.
stadium allocation and all. Abhi bhi seats ka kuch. I mean, the match is on Friday. I tried to book tickets for the match. There were limited seats available for free, of course, but they are all booked now. I couldn't register. काफी स्टेडियम का allocation दिखा ही नहीं है. बहुत ही scattered लग रहा था seat allocation का process.
वो तो अक्सर मैम, वो तो आप देखिए मोहन बगान का और उनका भी जो सीट एलोकेशन है, उसमें भी मतलब पूरे सारे स्टैंड में अवेलेबल नहीं किया जाता। ये तो या बुकिंग के लिए। हाँ,
दैट इज ओके, बट पूरे स्टेडियम में से सिर्फ दो हिस्से थे जहाँ के आपको सीट्स मिल रही है। पूरा स्टेडियम खाली है, सिर्फ 2 सीट्स हैं। आई ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड इट्स अ ह्यूज स्टेडियम, जेलन स्टेडियम दिल्ली, बट अदर देन दैट ऑल्सो सीट एलोकेशन अभी उतना क्लैरिटी नहीं है, तो आई डोंट नो हाउ मच ऑफ अ होम गेम एडवांटेज विल पंजाब गेट इन दिस।
Akshata, there are two three issues to look in this, and this is what fans very often forget. If you are not sure how many people are going to come, you have to look at the cost factor for the home team in regard to opening up a complete stadium. So you open up certain section of stands to start off with. Look at Mumbai City FC. Mumbai City realized in Pune, playing AFC Cup, against Al Hilal is going to sell out in 5 minutes, right? Capabilities, what do? You bring the match closer to Mumbai at a much bigger capacity ground. At other places like Mohun Bagan, and Shushmit and I have discussed it quite a number of times, Mohun Bagan so far has been releasing 30,000 tickets, most probably under restrictions from the police and from the government. Now, in Delhi, it's even worse. I remember when Bayern played against India, there were a lot of restrictions which were put on by Delhi police. So I am sure that the Round Glass guys are still working out certain things in the background for the stadium. And Delhi Dynamos also had these problems. So it's not as easy as saying, listen, I want to sit on that top tier on the left, or I want to sit bottom tier on the right, behind goal, front of goal, sideways here on the main. It's a lot of things. So therefore, it's not so easy. And for them, it's away from home. They are not in in and around Chandigarh. They're not playing in Panchkula or wherever that could have been in Punjab. So therefore, let them settle down. It's operationally, it's not an easy one. It's a tough one. It's one of the reasons why Delhi Dynamos folded, because of the stadium and the problems that there are. So it's sad that the Ambedkar can't be used for such games. I think the Ambedkar would have been a nicer thing if you could have. But again, for that to do, you actually need to literally tear down the main stand and rebuild it. That's the only way that you can build in facilities which are needed for an ISL game. But that's not going to happen. So therefore, these are challenges which I see from an operational standpoint, out of own experience, out of own knowledge, having also organized the Duran Cup many years back in Delhi. So therefore, give them a little time, because you're also seeing, if you go to the ISL scheduling page of IndianSuperLeague.com, certain clubs are selling their tickets via ISL already. Some of them have not been able to integrate it into the ISL platform system. So there are a lot of different issues which are there, and therefore, from an organizational standpoint, which a lot of people don't see, it's not easy to organize. It's not, the stadium doesn't belong to you. Yeah, right. In most other parts of the world, you own the stadium. You can do whatever you want with the stadium, and that's something that we most probably need to move to in the long term.
लेकिन अरोरा सर, जो आज वसुंधरा किंग्स का स्टेडियम था, ऐसा अगर आईएसएल कप्स के पास हो जाए तो मजा आ जाए. भले कैपेसिटी उसकी 14-15 हजार है, लेकिन दैट्स अ ग्रेट वे टू गो.
One mistake from my side, at least in Jamshedpur, the Tata complex, of course, belongs to them, and that's why they've been doing a lot. They've been doing massive promos.
सर श्रीनिधि डेक्कन के पास भी उनका स्टेडियम है ना?
It's not stadium bin nahi bol sakte ho. It's rather a training ground with where they've built the stand, right? They built it in 3 months. Again, they own the property, so uske liye thoda sa banaya. But the point is, it's always a difficult thing when you are going into. If you look at, for example, BFC playing at the Kantirava, I saw it in the SAF Cup. The stadium is in shambles. I've spoken about Kochi, right? And not only me. I mean, if you look at Javi Shepi, you look at Dato Windsor Daruk Seri Windsor now. In regard to the state of the stadiums, some of these stadiums are not in the state that you need to be. We need new. Actually, that's the next step. Hopefully, in the next 10 years of the evolvement of the ISL, that some of these clubs will either, via the support of government or city or municipalities, will get new stadiums, or they are themselves in the position to build their own infrastructure in the long run. Because that's the need of the hour. We need better. The facilities have improved a lot, but I think for the next step, we need also football specific stadiums. I think that's what I liked about that Basundhara stadium. It's small and compact.
Compact, yes, exactly. Bilkul.
But this season, of course, Punjab FC are going to struggle for the home advantage. First game, as we
I think sir वो पंचकुला में भी वो मतलब कर रहे हैं ना, to get the next season clearance.
They are thinking about it. Again, the problem is for Round Glass that there were ideas of an own stadium, of an own infrastructure, but again, buying land in India is not that easy for these kind of things. So that's a problem across the board. across the board. And again, why did BFC build its facility in Bellary, which is like 5 hours from Bangalore? Because they've got their steel plant over there. They've got access over there. They can't do that in Bangalore. So that's the problem, right? I mean, think about Man United saying, "Listen, I will train in London." Nahi hota, right? So that's the situation, and those are structural things. But I hope, again, as I said, this is season 10 of the ISL. Hopefully, some of these issues and topics will be sorted in the next decade.
Yeah. Coming back to the match, thoughts on FC Goa. Where do you think they can improve in the upcoming matches? Their first game in the ISL
They look rusty
this
to me.
season.
They didn't. They looked rusty. Of course, Martinez with the poacher's goal.
That's a brilliant goal.
And also the pass from Renier, that was class, and that shows, Renier Fernandez, if he wants to, what he's capable of. Noah Sadoui didn't look as good as he can be. I think, Hiren, you said Sadoui is in your fantasy team.
Yes, 2 point दिया है आज मेरे को.
2 point is too much actually still. But again, they didn't look. Carl McHugh, solid as always, in a different position today, in the sense of that he was sort of a Steven Gerrard kind of player, up and down, most distance covered. Backline looked a little shaky at times, even though it has Uday and Sandesh, so they've got some work to do. And Manolo Marquez did not look happy towards the end. If you saw, the shots on him, he was not happy with his players. He's got some work to do, but again, he's a top manager, and he will get his team sorted.
Tomorrow is an off day in the ISL, but after that, a very important match for Cheyenne. Bangalore FC and East Bengal FC. Hopefully, Rahul Naresh will also be back by then, so it will be an interesting conversation between both of you, Cheyenne and Rahul. But views on that, what are you expecting from that match?
Nothing less than a win. Nothing less than a win. Because if you see, last year also we beat Bengaluru in Bengaluru. And this year our team is playing better than last year, if you see. And nothing less than a win. We have to win Bengaluru. Because Bengaluru this year has been struggling. First 2 games. If you see the first game, they have lost to Kerala Blasters. Kerala Blasters was a better team that day. And they played somewhat good in Mohun Bagan game. But they eventually lost that game. So they were not able to finish that game. But one thing which worries me is that Sunil Chhetri coming back to their team and in their dressing room. That's a big factor. What I always say, that Sunil Chhetri's impact in the team, wherever he plays or not plays, but his presence in the dressing room is something. His impact is something different. That is the only thing which worries me. Barring, if you see how our team has been playing, I am very much confident that we will get 3 points in that game, and I'm expecting a East Bengal win or a draw. I think East Bengal needs to play very badly to lose that game. Need to play very, very badly.
Since Cheyenne has for the first time, openly said that East Bengal will win this match, I'm really confident about their performance on Wednesday. Irene and Aruma,
Wait. Are you confident of them winning, or confident of them losing?
Confident of them winning, but
Onamada will only hear I'm losing.
But he did not predict a win against Hyderabad, right?
Yes.
I said.
But he was very hesitant. He
did not predict a win.
I didn't say anything live. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
I am interpreting what you said. Hiren, support करो भाई.
नहीं बिल्कुल नहीं बोला था. जीतने का तो नहीं बोला था.
वो हिंट तो दिया था ना. वो तो था जो भाई ड्रॉ होगा.
But that's what it is, ना. But उस दिन he was like very थोड़ा डरा के बस ड्रॉ हो जाएगा ये वो. But today he's very confident that East Bengal तो जीतेंगे. So
क्लिंटन सिल्वा आ गया ना वापस, इसलिए सैन भाई को कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया.
Again, I said it the other day that I feel that BFC is like a boxer who's been knocked out, and he's knocked out twice, and they're literally tumbling around in the boxing ring, right? And the question is, will they fall, or will they, like BFC have done a lot of times in the past, stand up and come back. Because I think for Simon Grayson, this is a huge test. Because if BFC lose, I don't know if Grayson will have a job the next day. I think it goes to that level, because I think I think that's the situation. And again, BFC are going to miss two of their best in Roshan and in Suresh due to those cards. But again, welcome back Sunil and Rohit Danu. So I think that adds a certain level. So therefore, and again, East Bengal come on a high, and in East Bengal on a high, could be the knockout punch for BFC, and that's an interesting situation because it's only match day 3.
मेरे हिसाब से भी आई थिंक प्रेशर ज्यादा क्या बोलते कि बेंगलुरु एफसी के ऊपर ही होगा, क्योंकि होम गेम भी है, 2 मैच आप हार के आ रहे हो, फैंस भी हो गए, सो यू हैव टू विन दैट गेम, सिंपल एज दैट. आई थिंक ड्रॉ से भी आई डोंट थिंक सो कि आप फैंस को सेटिस्फाई कर पाओगे. तो आई थिंक टफ डेफिनेटली. एंड साइमन ग्रेसन के लिए भी आई थिंक रिजल्ट डिलीवरी करना पड़ेगा, वो वाली चीज है. ईस्ट बंगाल के लिए डेफिनेटली लास्ट विन अगेंस्ट हैदराबाद एफसी गिव बूस्ट, एंड क्लिंटन सिल्वा की वापसी, दैट्स अ गुड टू सी. आई थिंक एक एक्स्ट्रा क्या बोलते कि एक्स फैक्टर ऐड करते हैं. एंड फिर भी आई थिंक ईस्ट बंगाल नीड्स इम्प्रूवमेंट. ऐसा नहीं है कि उनका मतलब सब कुछ हो चुका है. आई थिंक फ्रंट लाइन अभी भी मतलब जैसे मतलब नोरेम महेश एंड नंदा कुमार सिकार दुरांत कप में दिखे थे, आई थिंक उस तरह का इम्पैक्ट अभी भी उनका नहीं आ रहा है. सो दैट्स द थिंग आई वांट टू सी फ्रॉम ईस्ट बंगाल साइड अगेंस्ट बेंगलुरु एफसी, कि उनका जो इन्वॉल्वमेंट है या फिर उनका जो अटैकिंग थ्रेट्स है. आई थिंक नंदा कुमार ने नो डाउट 1-2 चांस उन्होंने मिस भी किए हैं प्रीवियसली 2 मैचेस में. सो उनका भी थोड़ा सा फिनिशिंग बेटर हो सकता है. सो आई थिंक वो दोनों आई थिंक मैं देखने के लिए एक्साइटेड हूँ कि किस तरह से उनकी फॉर्म वापस होती आती है.
Completely forgot about another important match tomorrow or in the AFC. Sorry, Arnav, please.
Mumbai City.
Exactly, it's Champions League time. Huh? You forgot the most important match of the week. Huh?
Yeah.
Nagpur versus Mumbai City Football Club, building up to slowly towards facing Al Hilal.
Al Hilal.
Yeah. So I think Mumbai City are slowly in the groove. I think that was important. I would have loved to have seen now Mumbai City play at home against Nasaji after those 2 matches in the ISL, which does show. And Nagpur is going to be different level compared to what they faced last week against Odisha FC. I love I don't know who of you have been following those clips that Mumbai City have been doing on their way from India to there with training and all. Looks good. The mood is good. And let's see. Normally, an Uzbek side should be winning against an Indian team. And Nagpur are they impressed against Al Hilal. The highlights I saw, I thought, wow, because Al Hilal is coming with a team which could play Champions League in Europe. So therefore, Des Buckingham and his boys will be best prepared, and hopefully they can get some sort of result to stay in the running, at least to finish second in the group. Because otherwise, if they lose, it will be very difficult. But that will be the normal outcome. Normally Nagpur will win, but I'm hoping for some sort of surprise result.
मेरे को तो मुंबई सिटी से फाइट देखनी है तगड़ी, मतलब जो खेलती है जैसे आईएसएल में, ऐसा गेम प्ले देखने को मिल जाए तो मजा आ जाए. मतलब जब पता है नोबोर फेवरेट से होम गेम है उनका, नो डाउट, लेकिन एक फाइट दिखानी चाहिए ताकि पता चले कि हाँ भाई इंडियन क्लब्स भी है मतलब मार्केट में, दूसरे बाहर के जो क्लब्स एंड लोग हैं उनको भी थोड़ा सा, क्योंकि इस तरह के देखिए नोबोर ने अल हिलाल को ड्रॉ किया है तो सऊदी फैंस का भी थोड़ा सा मतलब नजर होगा कि हाँ भाई ये नोबोर क्या कर रहा है, एक थोड़ा सा अटेंशन मिलेगा तो मजा आएगा, थोड़ी सी हाइप बनेगी अगर मुंबई सिटी कुछ एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी परफॉर्मेंस निकालती है.
But Nasaji, I think Nasaji, a friend from Iran, said to me, he said he was impressed by Mumbai City's play against Nasaji, because Mumbai City actually, Nasaji was smart in their goals. But Mumbai City is
created more chance.
But again, Nagpur is a different level. I think they are better than Nasaji, and that's going to be the danger for Mumbai City on one side. And the question is, will Des Buckingham stick to his gameplay, which is an
Hmm.
open gameplay, attacking gameplay, or does he switch? Uh, 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 um, so therefore, it'll be interesting to see how they set up the game. Will be a little bit more wait and watch, or do you play to your strengths? And again, it will be interesting to see how they play tomorrow. If let's say a Bipin is benched, and you will use Stewart, Changte, and Al Khayati maybe. I mean, that is
I think
something, and
four two
Pereira
three one.
Diaz
I
in front
think
of him.
4-2-3-1 is a perfect formation.
But you put Greg Stewart maybe on the left or the right, depending
But
on other side. You put Changte and you put Al Khayati in the middle. And this
definitely.
is this is a level where Al Khayati can show what kind of a player he is, because I think it's a level up. It's maybe not even one, maybe two, maybe three levels up from what you play in the ISL. This is even going to be higher than what India has played in the recent weeks. I think this is a higher standard than what India as a national team has played in the last 6 months. So therefore, this is a real challenge for an Indian football club for Mumbai City FC tomorrow.
Shine, would you like to add on to this?
I think I would be happy if Mumbai City is able to get a point from this game. It will be very, very tough for them. Playing away game against a very tough opponent, and this team looked better than Al Hilal. Means if you ask me, Al Hilal were very lucky to get a point in that game. This team looked much, much better, and I think I expect at least we have a very respectable result. At the I would say, me saying I means Mumbai City FC as an Indian club does a better have a better outing, because this team will be very, very tough. And I don't expect a humiliation, but I am very much sure that there will be no humiliation. Mumbai City FC as a team, I think goalkeeping position is a bit dicey. Barring if they play to their potential, it not be a humiliation, but I expect them to lose by 2-0, because I don't think if they are able to lose by 1 or 2-0, I think that we should be happy. I think उससे ज़्यादा मैं expect नहीं कर रहा हूँ भाई, to be really honest. It is very, very tough, very, very tough.
I am expecting an
Quality अलग
end-to-end
है.
game.
Sorry,
I'm
Viren?
expecting an end-to-end game. I think if Des Buckingham stick to his style, then this will be an end-to-end game. I think no doubt good team अटैक आई थिंक होगा, लेकिन आई थिंक मुंबई सिटी के पास ऐसे प्लेयर है फ्रंट लाइन में कि दे कैन मतलब प्रोड्यूस समथिंग. सो अगर दोनों अटैकिंग थिएटर में गए तो आई थिंक मजा आएगा, एंड टू एंड गेम देखने को मिलेगा. स्कोर होंगे गोल, फिर उसके ऊपर क्या बोलते कि वो फिनिशिंग के ऊपर आ जाएगा कि किसकी फिनिशिंग बेटर है, वो ज्यादा गोल स्कोर करेगा. चांसेस बनेंगे, मतलब ऐसा नहीं होगा कि चांसेस नहीं बनेंगे. सो आई थिंक एक्साइटिंग गेम मतलब देखने को मिलेगा.
We
The
have a
match is tomorrow.
mindset ने जो बोला, mindset
Yes, yes.
writes a very common. But Navhor should hit the target. Nawaz will do the rest for them. यही मेरे को डर लग रहा.
No. I think that would be the mistake. If you try to hit the target, he's going to be good. You have to get him off his line.
बिल्कुल.
Guys, the match is tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. You can watch it on Fanpod if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes,
Sports
yes.
18 is showing it live.
Sports. No ISL tomorrow, so you can solely concentrate on this one match tomorrow. Quickly, also want to talk about another thing that happened in football today, which is the age fraud incident that took place in the Subrata Cup. We've discussed age fraud in multiple podcasts. We've created dedicated podcast on that as well. But this time, a strong action has been taken. Your views are on what happened today.
Well, this is not the first time, and this will most probably not be the last time that at the Subrata Cup something like this has happened. It has happened in the past. It is rampant within Indian football. I said that multiple times. And again, we are harming ourselves. This shows that these schools are going with a mindset into the Subrata Cup to try and win things and not develop the boys. That's the worry. And again, it is great that the Indian Air Force, as the custodians of the Subrata Cup, have taken the step to ban that many kids. And I mean, just to look at the number, 126
75%.
126 kids. 87 failed, 34 only cleared, and 5 are I don't know. And I've heard amongst the 34, there are some where they said, "ठीक है भाई, let's put them through. Otherwise, we can
कुछ नहीं
scrap the whole
बचेगा.
tournament."
हाँ.
That's the danger, right? And
Danger. हाँ.
this needs to be taken out, reported, and this is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It should be
But
embarrassing for the
sir, ये
for the states, for the schools, and this needs to end. It's rampant.
बट सर ये हमने इंडिया के जो ग्रास रूट से यूथ लेवल तक ये हमने नोटिस किया है, नॉट ओनली इन द एज फ्लोट. हमने रिसेंटली जो अंडर 19 साफ भी हुआ है कि जो हमारी यूथ का जो माइंडसेट हमारी जो ग्रास रूट से यूथ लेवल तक का, वो हमारा माइंडसेट है रिजल्ट ओरिएंटेड, ना कि आपका जो प्रोग्रेसिव फुटबॉल है या फिर आप एक आपके प्लेयरों को जो डेवलप करना चाहते हो वो नहीं है. रादर देन हमारे जो भी कोई भी लेवल का टूर्नामेंट ले लीजिए, हमने एफसी अंडर 17 एशियन कप भी आप देख लीजिए, we go for the result oriented process rather than progressive football. जो हमने जापान के सामने सेकंड हाफ में खेला तो हमें मच बेटर दिखे, लेकिन वो हमने ट्राई नहीं किया दूसरे मैचेस में. इससे पहले आप साफ भी देख लीजिए. तो ये पूरा मतलब ग्रास रूट से ये माइंडसेट है कि आपको प्लेयरों को डेवलप करने की बजाय आप देख रहे हो कि आप रिजल्ट कैसे लाओ, आप जीत लो टूर्नामेंट, ये कर लो. जबकि आप यूथ लेवल के कितने भी टूर्नामेंट जीत लो, उससे कुछ नहीं पड़ेगा जब तक आप नेशनल लेवल का सीनियर टीम के लिए कोई टूर्नामेंट नहीं जीत पाते हो या फिर क्लब लेवल पे. सो ये आपको लगता है कि ये माइंडसेट का क्या बोलते हैं कि प्रॉब्लम है या फिर?
See, the problem is, or let's put it this way, there are multiple problems. The one is the coaches. I do understand that the coaches are trying to either keep their job, move up to a high age group, maybe become senior level coaches. Then it's the schools, the clubs who want to go into a competition of, even in baby leagues, they want to win. For certain academies, it's the way of, showcasing that, I'm the best because I'm winning this, I'm winning this, I'm winning this. But you're not developing the player. And this is something which and you're cheating. Again, at the end of the day, you're cheating. And we're not cheating by a year or two. I would like to have seen who was the oldest tested player in that under 14 competition. How old was that boy, or should we call him a man? And that's the real scary part of all of this. That let's say if you're 15 or 16, okay, chal jata hai. But we've also had 20, 21, 22-year-olds playing in this competition. And I think this needs to be not only, the kids taken out. I think there needs to be criminal cases launched. There needs to be some sort of accountability. But who's going to do that? Again, accountability in Indian football. We've mentioned that multiple times in our conversations. And I've heard some people have now watched the 420 grams episode yesterday. Where's the outcry of an expose yesterday highlighting how certain things have been done? There's no outcry in Indian football. Where is it? Everything is fine.
सैयद, आपके कोलकाता फुटबॉल में क्या है एज फ्रॉड का, क्या सीन है?
एज फ्रॉड तो भाई इट्स इंडियन फिनोमेनन एक्चुअली. ये है सब जगह पे है. कोलकाता बर्थ राइट में है एंड पीपल आर वेरी हैप्पी. एक्चुअली क्या है ना हैरी, आपने जो बोला, इफ आई टेक योर वर्ड्स दैट वे, एंड इट्स करेक्टली यू हैव सेड दैट रिजल्ट ओरिएंटेड है. सबको शॉर्टकट सॉल्यूशन चाहिए, उनको लॉन्ग टर्म प्रोग्रेस में नहीं देखना, तो उसको सोचना ही नहीं है. और जब आप ये करते हो क्या होता है, एंड रिजल्ट ये सभी होता है. एज फ्रॉड करके आप, जो हम लोग बार बार बोलते हैं, किसको चीट कर रहे हो? एट एंड ऑफ द डे यू आर चीटिंग योरसेल्फ. व्हेन यू चीट इन एग्जाम, at the end of the day you are cheating yourself, no? You become a poor doctor or poor engineer if you are cheating, right? So वैसा ही है. हम लोग poor कर रहे बोल के ही ना ऐसा यहाँ पर है. क्या बोलूं, nothing can be said much. And कोलकाता में है और बाकी सब जगह पे आई नो many good people जिनके बारे में मीडिया में who are very famous people. They are also part of this crime. I don't want to take the name, but this is going on. This is something which is there. तो क्या कर सकते हैं?
Sure.
बस सुष्मित जो बोला अंडर 23 में नहीं खेलता हूँ, बट वीकेंड्स में, बट
Under
मत
19.
खेल. अंडर 19 खेलता हूँ कभी कभी, हाँ ठीक बोला वो, बट फुटबॉल में तो नहीं खेलता, बट दूसरे का में.
ज्यादा बोल दिया सच में.
लेकिन what is the solution of this?
You're asking
Basically,
me.
ये है कि हम बात करते रहेंगे और I think it's a basic integrity thing also ना. People should
हाँ.
have some sort of integrity in themselves. जो माँ बाप अपने बच्चों को बोल रहे हैं कि तुम चले जाओ, उनको बेसिकली घर से शुरू होना चाहिए ना. ये आपको बेसिक वैल्यूज होती है जो आपको घर में. अब ऑफ कोर्स एवरीबॉडी हैज देयर ओन रीजंस बिकॉज ऑफ व्हिच दे स्टार्ट टू लाई, बट आई थिंक इट्स अ सोसाइटी इशू, नॉट जस्ट इंडियन फुटबॉल इशू. क्रिकेट में भी काफी एज फ्रॉड होता है. There are kids who keep on, like they lie on their age itne bade hoke bhi because they get to play for bigger organizations. So they are doing this. So I don't think it's an Indian football issue.
Akshata, just to add something, it's not an India-specific problem.
हाँ.
It's a problem in large parts of the world, and especially in the South. South America. Ask a Ronaldinho or a Ronaldo how old they are. Really, how old they are. They will not be able to tell you. Or Rivaldo. They will not be able to tell you. Right? And the problem is, again, we are harming ourselves. We are harming nobody else. If we're playing under 17 competitions with national teams where the boys are actually 21, 22, that's why you don't see any more development once they're out of this tournament, while the others from the Japanese or the South Koreans are developing. Right? We're cheating only ourselves. And that's something. But again, where don't we cheat? Right? That's the problem, right? I mean, how much does honesty count in Indian football? So that's we can have a general discussion on that. And that's it starts there. Honesty and the will and desire to work hard. Again, always shortcuts, doesn't help. You have to do, at some stage, you will have to do the work, the leg work, and that's a problem. And again, to ask the parents, very often the parents most probably don't even know what kind of registration their kids have, right? So that's another thing. Documents are being forged, so where is the consequence? And when you raise this topic, I did when I was with Roundgrass, we raised this topic, nothing happens. Clubs or youth academies are winning trophies, but playing, what did a very good friend of mine say? I think Cheyenne also knows that, where he said, listen, these kids are playing against their fathers. It goes to that level. So it's not helping Indian football. So therefore, that's where we stand. That's why Indian football is not easily beating clubs from Bangladesh or Myanmar, or India is not able to beat Myanmar, say Maldives. We're not able to beat Bangladesh or Myanmar in the Asian Games easily. Right? That's the end product. And we depend on a nearly 40-year-old, we're still 39-year-old Sunil Chhetri to bail us out. So, yeah. But Shushmit, let's not talk about Igor. I think you were right on track. I think we need to expose how old Cheyenne really is. But again, that we will do a separate podcast, I think, exclusive with SportsKhabri, Curious Harry and Arun Foot without Cheyenne, where we expose his real age. And I've heard he's played for multiple teams this season in the Calcutta Football League. And he played last season, I think, Reliance Foundation. So therefore, we will. I think this is a breaking story that we will do very, very soon.
Also, guys, we have done specific videos on age fraud. I know Hiren has also done one. We've done on Sports Khabri and Arun Foot. Shine, have you done a video on age fraud?
No, we have not done. We have actually brought somebody from Age Fraud team and did a positive.
How can he? How can he done? How can he done that? If
Okay.
himself is doing that, then how can he do that?
Okay,
Yes,
guys. So we all have different age fraud specific videos on the 4 channels. So please go ahead and watch them. And
I mean,
it's level 11.
every video of Shine is age fraud because Shine is in it, na? No, seriously. No, but again, yeah. So carbon testing of Shine's bones. Bhai, kya hoga? They will say he was living in old Egypt and he was friends with now whatever our mummies and all. Na? So yeah. No, but jokes apart, I think it's we can joke around amongst us, but it's a serious problem. It's a serious issue, and nothing has been undertaken. I know that it's also a cost factor these days. With if you do TW3 tests, bone marrow test, this test, that test, and again there is no surety that you might expose a kid and say, listen, he's 16, his bone growth, but he actually might be 13, right? So therefore, that's also a medical side of things, which is very, very difficult to ascertain the age of someone, of a boy and or even
Also,
a girl.
the cost of the test is also very expensive, right?
Yeah.
So cost is also a factor.
I
It's
mean,
not cost of cost.
so therefore, yeah, and I also say, even though hello Khabri ma'am, very nice, Dinesh Yadav, very respectful. So therefore, let's see. I mean, it's. But on the other side, I think it's good that the Indian Air Force has done this. But I'm interested to see how many people will pick up the story and make a big story out of it.
Hopefully tomorrow. Today was Gandhi Jayanti here, so we had an off, and hopefully tomorrow a lot of people will pick it up. Important game, guys, tomorrow, as we've already discussed, AFC Champions League. Please do watch it, 7:30 p.m. Fan Court and Sports 18, as Aruna also mentioned, it will be streaming on Support Indian Football. We'll be back again tomorrow night to discuss all the latest developments from Indian football. Do follow all the 4 channels and please keep showing us your support. If there are any specific topics you want us to cover or create videos on, do let us know and we'll make sure that we come back with some good content for all of you. Thank you for watching and have a good week ahead.
Thanks.
Good night, guys.
And
Thank you.
good night, everyone, and stay safe.